But our top focus story comes from Priyanka Gandhi, who's taking on the Union HRD Minister Smriti Irani. She's taunted her about her Amethi visits. Priyanka Gandhi says it will be good if the Human Resources and Development Minister focuses on improving the state of Indian Institute of Information Technology in Amethi. Priyanka Gandhi says since Smriti Irani is the HRD Minister, she should see why the state of education has not moved forward in this country. We'll get you more on what Priyanka Gandhi said, but this is a direct attack. This is a frontal attack on Smriti Irani, who's been in Amethi, and this has been her second visit where she took on the Member of Parliament from Amethi, Rahul Gandhi. Let's listen in to Priyanka Gandhi before we get you more on this story.
मैडम ओपनली उनके सामने कौन है? यही प्रॉब्लम है मैडम मोदी सरकार के इस साल.
Priyanka ji, is your visiting?
Let me talk to you, sure, please.
Okay,
you're not being able to.
Priyanka ji, you just said something about triple IIT. You just said something about triple IIT. Could you just repeat it?
Let me talk to you.
Just something about triple IIT that you said.
They said that Smriti Irani ji has done something for me. Since she's education minister, we could if she looked into the triple IT. Why is it not?
But is your visit in reaction to her? She came just yesterday.
And how about the food park?
Amethi.
How about the food park issue? Do you think it will finally settle?
I've come before also, but I come but normally quietly and I meet the workers. So.
And do you think the food park issue has been settled once and for all? Or is there some...
Frankly, I don't know what the progress on it is right now. I only know from a previous
Ma'am.
Joining me now with the latest headlines today is Amir Haq. Amir, Priyanka Gandhi is in the family pocketborough, Amethi, Raebareli, two constituencies that she nurtures. These two constituencies. Take us through this entire context and the reaction after Smriti Irani's visit.
Well, Gaurav, it seems that Priyanka Gandhi is taking the same line as her brother and Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, because earlier, just about last month, it was Rahul Gandhi who initially raised the issue of food park, a project which was brought with much fanfare during the UPA regime, but was shelved after that. At least this was an allegation from the side of Rahul Gandhi. But well, now Priyanka Gandhi raises the issue of triple IT in Amethi. Well, let me give you a backgrounder on this. Triple IT in Amethi was started in the year 2011, while as an extension to the Triple IT, which was already in existence in Allahabad. Well, the same set of teachers who taught in Allahabad were brought here as well. But over the last 4 years, especially after the UPA regime, UPA regime and India took over, this Triple IT ceased to function. In fact, last year...
Stay with me for a moment. I want to quickly bring in the Union Human Resources and Development Minister Smriti Irani for more on this. Ma'am, this is a direct attack that Priyanka Gandhi has launched on you, saying focus on IIT, which is being ignored.
I think how time flies is very evident from the fact that Mrs. Priyanka Vadra hardly knew who today she's taking attack.
Ms. Irani, Smriti Irani, can you hear me? We seem to be losing that line with you. We'll try and re-establish that line with the Union Human Resources and Development Minister Smriti Irani. She's in the line of fire. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra there, saying the HRD Minister, the Education Minister, should focus on the improvement in IIT in Amethi. Now, Smriti Irani has been touring the Amethi constituency that she says she will continue to nurture. She said she spoke to farmers and farmers required fertilizers. 10 years of Rahul Gandhi being MP and his party being in power. The minister claims that fertilizers did not reach the farmers, but within 1 year of the Modi government taking over, and she insisting that she will nurture that constituency. Fertilizers reached the farmers. Now, Priyanka Gandhi has retorted. Priyanka Gandhi says Smriti Irani should focus on the state of education in Uttar Pradesh and she should focus on the condition of IIT. Amir Haq, my colleague, still with me. Amir, but before I get to Amir, let me quickly once again try and bring in HRD Minister Smriti Irani. Ma'am, that's a frontal attack that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has mounted on you.
I mean, how time flies. Mrs. Vadra did not know who I was just a year ago when I fought the election against Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. And today she seeks to directly attack me. And attack me on what? An absolute non-issue. I don't think Mrs. Vadra has kept up with the legislation with regards to IIIT in Parliament, which says that the IIIT Allahabad is now a nationally recognized institution. And it also says that the Amethi campus was one of these shilanyases and udghatans that the Gandhi family did just to stay politically relevant in Amethi. The very fact that they did a ship-shoddy job of IIIT Amethi is a legacy that I have received from the Congress-led government. And this is a legacy that we are trying to course correct so that the people of Amethi genuinely benefit with something on the ground and not with just a promise which was made for newspaper headlines. I'm extremely surprised that Mrs. Vadra is absolutely unsure of what is happening with regard to IIIT Amethi, and the fact that she makes a hollow attack is something I think you and I would both waste our time on. If I am to respond to unsubstantiated reports, then I think my day would not be as productive as I seek it to be.
But now that you are the HRD minister and now that you intend to nurture the Amethi constituency, will the IIIT stay in Amethi?
I don't know why Mrs. Vadra thinks that the IIIT is going anywhere. Is it just another issue that is being raked up to stay politically relevant? What is extremely interesting is that I was in Amethi yesterday, and the fact that Mrs. Vadra goes to Raebareli today and seeks to make a headline using my name. I'm extremely pleased that she feels that her brother, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, is not good enough to mount an attack on me and that she needs to supplement his attack. That is something that speaks volumes about the confidence they have in the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. All I have to say is that for the first time in the history of our democracy, a winning candidate is looking at the losing candidate to do development of his constituency. And I shall happily apply, since it's very obvious now that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has failed to deliver on the promise of development for his constituency.
You focused on the farmers yesterday when you were in Amethi and you launched a frontal attack on Rahul Gandhi, Ms. Irani, when you said that 10 years that he was MP.
I have not spoken a word about Mrs. Priyanka Vadra. So it's interesting that she seeks to supplement her brother's career. That is her right and her responsibility. I made an attack on Mr. Rahul Gandhi because he's the elected representative of the constituency.
And you feel he's not nurturing the constituency, the fertilizers for farmers, the issue that you raised?
I think that for 10 years, the farmers of Amethi were asking for one railway rack of fertilizer. That was not delivered when the Congress-led UPA was in power at the center. The fact that this problem was identified to me and we delivered on this particular solution in 10 days just goes to show that when a member of parliament, or for that matter, a political representative, has the intention and has a methodology to deliver, they deliver. So why is it that Mr. Gandhi had a government in the center and yet did not deliver for the people of Amethi? That's a question only Mr. Gandhi can answer.
As far as education is concerned, and since you are the HRD minister, do you have a special plan for your constituency?
I am the education minister for the entire country. For you to insinuate in any fashion that a special emphasis or a special package will be made for Amethi, it gives an intention on behalf of my ministry that for me educational challenges across the country are not equally important. Let me say this, कि अमेठी के साथ कोई भेदभाव ना पहले हुआ था ना अब होगा. अगर भेदभाव हुआ तो कांग्रेस के राज में हुआ, जिसके लिए कांग्रेस जवाबदार है.
The allegation is that the IIIT was completely ignored even in your regime for the past 1 year.
I do not think that Mrs. Vadra would want me to rake up papers which just again prove how hollow that claim is. Expecting that they would have done a much more studied observation and instead of throwing muck, would have possibly studied the very basis of the allegation that they made. The question that will arise amongst the people of Amethi and the people of IIIT Allahabad is that why is it that Amethi was given a IIIT off campus where no other IIIT off campus has been given, and why that IIIT campus was not empowered enough to educate people in the constituency. That is an answer which my predecessor, who was a congressman, has to give to not only the people of Amethi, possibly he should also answer to Mrs. Priyanka Vadra.
So what now when it comes to the triple IT at Amethi, ma'am?
Whatever exists now, the idea is to strengthen it.
Okay.
So why is it that you go by the allegation of Mrs. Priyanka Vadra, who makes a hollow claim that it's shutting down, when I, as an HRD minister, I'm telling you, it's not shutting down? Why am I to chase silly allegations which have absolutely no basis in truth and keep giving explanations? Has it shut down? Does Mrs. Vadra have absolute evidence that whole triple IT has shut down? Absolutely not.
Okay.
So why rake up a controversy just to stay in the news and stay politically relevant?
So are you then alleging, Ms. Irani, that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi, the Member of Parliament from Amethi, are not politically relevant in these constituencies?
I mean, I am only saying that the very fact that I was in Amethi yesterday and today suddenly there is a memory aroused as to who I am in Amethi and an attack is made on a baseless charge speaks a lot for what they feel in terms of the ground reality in Amethi is slipping away from them. Otherwise, do you think somebody who did not even know my existence suddenly attacks me? And Amethi and Raebareli, which does not see consistently the visits of Gandhi leadership, suddenly sees leadership there emerging after election. That has never happened. Ask the people of Amethi.
So,
I had said this before and I'm saying it again. At least because of my presence in Amethi, people of Amethi will get to see more of their MP.
so does that mean, is your claim, ma'am, that Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra are now rattled because you have been visiting Amethi?
Are they not?
I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you. Are they not? Otherwise, from their busy schedules and holidays, do you think they had the time for a normal citizen like me?
Smriti Irani, the Union HRD Minister, many thanks for joining me here on Headlines today. A strong counter-attack that comes from the Union HRD Minister saying that the Gandhis, especially Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, launching this attack, as Smriti Irani puts it, to stay politically relevant in Amethi and Raebareli. That big news story that Smriti Irani has just said here on Headlines today is that the triple IIT is there to stay in Amethi. It's not going anywhere. They are going to stay. The IIT will be strengthened in Amethi. That's the big story that Smriti Irani has just said here on India Today. Now, just a short while back, and let's once again listen in to what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said when she was visiting the family pocket borough of Raebareli. Let's listen in to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra before we get you more on the story.
मैम मैडम ओपनली उनके सामने कौन है? यही प्रॉब्लम है मैडम मोदी सरकार के इस साल.
Priyanka ji, is your visiting?
Let me talk to you, sure, please.
Okay,
I'm not being able to.
Priyanka ji, you just said something about triple IIT. You just said something about triple IIT. Could you just repeat it?
Let me talk to them.
Just something about triple IIT that you said.
They said that Smriti Irani ji had done something for Amethi. Since she is education minister, we could if she looked into the triple IT. Why it's not
But is your visit in reaction to her? She came just yesterday.
And how about the food park?
Amethi.
How about the food park issue? Do you think it will finally settle?
I've come before also, but I come but normally quietly and I meet the workers. So.
Do you think the food park issue has been settled once and for all? Or is there some...
Frankly, I don't know what the progress on it is right now. I only know from a few days.
Ma'am.
Priyanka Gandhi Vadra needs to update herself on the latest when it comes to IIT, is what the Union HRD Minister has just told India Today. We will continue to track that story very closely.